Okay, welcome back. So in the last session, we talked about what are the different steps in order to design an ER diagram. So we talked about the modeling part, right? The steps of designing an ER model itself. Now in this particular video, we'll take one case study, the university. We'll try to first understand the problem, and after that, we'll follow each of the steps that we have discussed in the last class. Okay, and this way we'll try to identify each of these entities, the relationship, the attributes, the key attributes and all. And lastly, we'll try to group together to draw the ER diagram. Okay. So the case study is taken university in the first discussion because it is something which are very related to us. Okay. Right. All of the students, we are a part of this university itself. We are interacting with the teachers. Okay. Right. You are going through certain courses and all. So it becomes easy for us to uh, uh, understand the concept for designing the ER model. That is the reason why in my video also I have taken this case study university as the first one, so that it becomes very easy, it becomes a cakewalk for you in order to understand the entire concept. So let us try to understand uh, the problem, right? So we have taken certain assumptions. Okay, so it may be different from different person, books and all these things. So these are my assumption on my part. Okay, for a university perspective. Okay, so let's say this in I have mentioned this as a college itself, which is a part of, let's say for example, you may understand a university has different. So engineering itself is one of the particular college. So let us say the college contains many, department, right? Like we have a computer department, we have electronics department, mechanical, electrical and all these things, right? So college contain many department. Each department can offer any number of courses. So the department is referring from one number of courses, starting from PG to sorry UG to PG and all these things. Okay, now, many instructor, I mentioned your instructor, not the faculty, right? So, many instructor can work in a department. Okay, many instructor can work in a department. Okay, and then you can see an instructor can work only in one department. That means if I am working in CSC department as an instructor, then I will be working on CSC department. I will be not working in mechanical. So that's an assumption that I have made. For each department there is a head. So the department will be having a head. Okay, right? But this head itself can also is also an instructor. Okay, our instructor can head of only one department. So am I am the head of a department, suppose a CSC. Then I will be only the head of CSC. I cannot become the mechanical HOD of mechanical. So that's my assumption itself. Okay, and then each instruction can take any number of courses. Okay, so instruction can take any number of courses. A course can be taken by only one instructor. That is something we have taken an assumption. Say what a course, cloud computing, so that will be only be taken by one particular instruction. Now a student can enroll for any number of courses. Okay, a student can enroll for any number of courses, and each courses can be have any number of students, and courses can be any number of students. So if you see this, as I was telling, in order to identify first the entity deserves, right? So after this, the steps that we have is to identify the entities. Okay, find the relationships, then the key attributes of every entity, and then identify other relevant entity, and then you are drawing the diagram. Okay, so first step is to identify the entity from this problem. Okay, so we see the noun are like department, okay, college, courses, instructor, okay, courses, students, department. Okay, right? So instructor, so these are the certain nouns. So these are the maybe the entity itself. That is what we have looked out. Okay, so having said this, so you see, we have identified the entities, the department, the student, the course, and the instruction. We have not taken college because college itself, in a bigger perspective, we have. So under that, we have the department, student, courses, and the instruction. So we have identified the entities, and these are the four entities. Now we have to identify the relationship, right? So from each particular, assumptions, what is the relationship that we have, right? So that we need to find out. Yes. So first and foremost thing, we have seen that, okay, one course is enrolled by multiple students and one student enrolls for multiple courses. That we have seen, right? So one course is enrolled by multiple students and one student enrolls multiple course. Hence, we have the cardinality of the course and the student is many to many, right? Okay, that we have understood. Second point, the department offers many courses. So as a department, okay, CSE department, okay, I am offering many courses and each course belong to only one department. On each course belongs to only one department. For example, my course is cloud computing, so it will associate with the computer science, or it can be with the I don't know, IT department itself, or the information technology, which is not there today. So what I'm saying that the department offers many courses and each courses belong to only one department, and the cardinality between the department and courses is one is to many. So department handling many courses, but one course is a part of the department. So one is to many, right? Then we come to the one department have multiple instructor and one instructor belong to one and only one department that we have seen. So if I'm working in CSC, that means I'm working in CSC. Hence the cardinality between department instructor is also one is to many, because one department has many instructor, but one instructor belongs to only one particular department. Okay. Now there is a saying that each department there is a head of the department, okay, and one instructor is the head of the department. So between this we have a cardinality is one is to one. Okay, one department only one head. Okay, yes, right. Then we have one course is taught by only one instructor, but the instructor teaches many courses, and the cardinality between course and instructor is many to one. Why? Because one course is taught by only one instructor, but this instructor can also teach many courses. Many courses are available in that. Hence, the cardinality between the course and the instructor becomes a many to one. So, what we have done, we have identified the entities, okay, department, student, course, and instructor. Then we have found out the relationship between, the courses students, between the department and course, okay, between the department and instructors. Then one of the aspect of the head of the department, okay, and lastly the instructor and the courses that we have. Okay, so having said this, now we are going to find out the key attributes. Okay, right? So department name is the key attribute for entity department, right? The computer science, MCA, whatever, as it identify the department uniquely, right? So department name itself is the key attribute, right? Course ID is the key attribute for the course entity, right? Okay, similarly, student name is the student number is the key attribute for the student entity, and instructor name is the key attribute for the instructor entity. Okay, so instructor, we are not talking any kind of employee, we're saying the instructor name itself is one of the key attributes for instructor entity. Okay, then we have the other relevant, okay, for example, uh, uh, for the department entity, relevant attribute is the location, okay, which is the location. For course entity, course name, duration, prerequisite are certain things that we require. The For instructor we have entity, okay, instructor entity, sorry, we have the room number, the telephone number, and for the student entity we have the student name and date of birth. Okay, so we have what you say, identify the other elements. Okay, the key attributes also have been cleared, understood. Okay, now, okay, now we see to identify the key attributes. Okay, now what to identify the key. So for a department, uniquely identify the department name. So computer science department, MCA department, mechanical. Okay, and course ID is a key attribute for course entity, and student ID is the key attribute for student entity. Okay, and instructor name is the key attribute for instructor entity itself. Okay, so we got the key attribute itself, and then other relevant attributes for a department. Not only to count when location itself. So we have one some like department name taken as a unique. Okay, right? We can have one uh, like department location, we have I have already told about. The head of the department is also one of the, okay. So like that we have identified the other relevant information for course also. You need to have a course ID, we need to have a name, you have to have a duration, we need to have a prerequisite now. And for instructor also, entity, we have the room number as an attribute or the telephone number as an attribute. What could be the other attribute, like instructor name and all these things, right? For student entity also, we have the student name and the date of birth and all. Okay. So identify the key attributes is the pass. Once you identify key other relevant attributes, it automatically will going to, find it out. Okay. So having said this, so we have got four entity: department, course, instructor, student, and you find the attributes also for student, like student name, date of birth. For instructor, we have the room number, telephone number. For the course, you have the course name, duration, prerequisite. Suppose if this is the course I want to go, what is my prerequisite? Okay, right? Say for example, uh, if I really want to do some kind of understanding data structure, and I want to implement the data structure, so I have to know on all the implementation language, that is suppose a C programming and all. Okay, yes. So having said this, okay, now we draw the complete ER diagram. Just I pause it for 2 seconds so that you can look at the particular diagram. Okay, so you can now see department, okay, right? With instructor, we have a relation that department, has to be headed by instructor, and one instructor can head only one department, and one department is having one instructor. So you see, this is 1:1. Okay. Now the department will be having n number of, instructor. That is why we have this one, and this is equal to n, right? Okay. So this is the relationship that we saw. Okay. Then department and course also, you can see one department you can offer n number of courses, okay, but one courses cannot have by all the department. Only one particular department will be having, right? Then course, sorry, the course, okay, this particular course is enrolled by the student. We know one student enrolling many courses, and one courses by many students, so that we have the relationship m is to n. Okay. And then course, one particular instructor can have n number of courses, he can teach n number of courses, but one particular courses will be, okay, will be having only one instructor. That is what we have decided, right? And then we have the key attribute for department as department name, instructor as instructor name, course as course ID. Yes, right? Well, example, for student, we have the student ID. And other attribute for the student is the student name, date of birth. For the course, we have a course name, duration, the prerequisite. For the instructor, we have a phone number, you have the room number, and for the department also, we have the department name and the department location itself. Okay. Yes. So including in primary key, it is written. What is primary key? We are talking about a key attribute, key, main key itself as primary, which we'll be going to discuss more in the subsequent videos itself. So I hope it is clear. So we are representing each of this diagram very neatly, and the cardinality, like 1:n, m:2n, and all those things, right? So we have four entities: department, course, instructor, and student. So relationship: department headed by an only instructor, department can have n number of courses, one courses can be run by many students, okay, right? Enroll, and one course will have many students, like that one student will have many courses, and all the courses will be taught by only one particular teacher itself. So we can see the relationship that exists between the department, the courses, and the instructor. Okay, I hope this is very clear. Yes, please try to understand uh, the entire concept itself, and then uh, jot down in your note to complete the ER diagram itself. Okay. So thank you so much. I hope regarding the ER modeling of university uh, is clear to you. So in the next session, we will again take another case study, which is on the banking. Okay, and we'll try to understand, okay, the problem, and then try to clear the ER diagram. Okay. Thank you so much for watching my video. Do keep watching my video. Okay. Do share with your friends, like, and subscribe. Okay. Thank you so much.